it's that time again. The 12th race of TNS's Season 5 campaign. It comes tonight from the short, roughly quarter-mile Mulligan Raceway. And LERA Sports Coverage is glad to bring this one to you, and big news, we will be with you all the way to season's end in Phoenix, so stay tuned. I'm Bappy Gamer alongside the Gamer Boy, and tonight we have a pressure cooker. 198 laps out here on one of the shortest tracks we've ever seen ran on a Sunday. Combine that with a 25 plus car field, and what kind of action can we expect tonight?
Man, let me tell you, we're expecting close racing, a lot of bumping, because short tracks, you don't have much room there. You gotta bump, gotta give a little, take a little. There's a lot more taking than giving, but you know what? It's close racing. That's what you got. But, we're going to have no flip, so a lot of it's going to be more dependent on skill, track position, where you could get your car into. Might be some dive bombing, might be some teaming up. But, yeah, we're going to have a lot of close racing. Another big thing is because it's a short track and we don't have much room, lap traffic definitely will come into play. So it's going to be interesting to see how that is handled.
Well, Gamer Boy, like we said, 198 laps tonight, 2 99 lap stages, and remember, no points are awarded after that first stage, but the starting position is going to matter. How do you think these drivers are going to prepare for that?
I think they're going to try the first stage. It's more like a qualifying session since there are no points, but I think that's going to be something where they're going to test stuff out. They're going to see what works, what doesn't work, what lines work, how you can help your teammate, or how you can maybe take it all for yourself. So this is something new. This is definitely going to be an interesting show.
Right, indeed. And in practice today, they were running speeds of upwards of 13.7 lap times. Do you think we're going to see any 13.6s, though? Those seem to be the lap times to beat.
I mean, I think we could even get down to 13.5s if we have the right people on track, We got some real big cookers like DLJ and GamerStig. I mean, they are some of the fastest that we have. So it's always going to be a guarantee they're going to be the top setters, and we're just going to have to see what they post up.
Well, these boys just qualified. GamerStig sits on pole with a 13.814. And 3 drivers tied in their qualifying times. Cameron and Josh, DMX and Maggio, all got a 13.880 in their qualifying times. So very, very tight up at the top. 7 drivers ended up dipping into the 13-second lap times in qualifying. And now here we go. We're getting ready to set up the field. This first stage, 99 laps, like we've mentioned. Who do you got for that? I got you. Who do you got for this first stage here, Gamer Boy? We know GamerStig sitting on pole. We got some heavy hitters in there.
I think we're going to go with GamerStig. I also think Maggio, he has proven to be pretty decent at short tracks. I think he might be coming up to the front. It's also my previous team owner, and me and him haven't had the best history, but I have to admit, he is a good racer. He's got it nice and stable. I think he can get it done.
I think that's probably a solid pick. DLJ starting in 6th place. That's not too far back for him. I think he can get around the mess, and I think he'll be fine. And he is my pick to win this first stage. We get situated here. We'll get the field lined up, and we'll get ready to go. This track in its 2nd running on a Sunday. We recall back in INCS it was ran in its 9th season, I believe. Captain Mousecop was the winner. He is in tonight's field. Remind everybody that race was ran with Slipstream. This one here, no slip tonight. Find my place here. One thing about this track, not a lot of great vantage points due to lack of grandstands here, but there is a pretty good place to be able to see all the action. Might be able to bring you a couple views tonight, especially ones down on the track. I'll get you that invite here. Now, like you said, this first 99 essentially a qualifying session for the rest of the race. Here we go. Take a look at our starting grid here. Gamerstig and Josh, or rather Giraffe, on the front row. Can we go back to Josh and DMX in row 2, and Maggio and DLJ sitting in row 3. Both those guys have had a interesting season together. If you recall back to the All-Star race, those two got into it on the last lap there. And then back to Ride and Leadfoot, two short track aces. And then AJK and Mojo. Mojo won the last short track we went to. That was back at Richmond, although that race did have slipstream. And then back to Halverson and our most recent TNS winner, Glenna. And then back to Boost and Captain Mousecop. Both of those guys went 1-2 here in INCS. And then Bulldogs, Jeremy. And then Todd and Fat, who won the Clash on Friday night. Magnus and Love, Dude Molisher, making her TNS return here. And then Varmint alongside her, and Goodfella and Blackjack are bringing up the rear. And here we go, pacing it for the first stage, first 99 lap of tonight's event. Gamerstig rolls it into the restart zone, and we are underway. Good launch from Gamerstig. He gets away clean for the moment to stack up in the back. We'll have to see how this race plays out with how short this track is. Lap 1 already complete, as you see some 3 wide action here in the back.
Now, one thing that I have come to notice on this track that I haven't seen on many other tracks is the 2 different color schemes within the turns. I don't know if those are actually 2 different working groups or not, but it'll be interesting to see if anybody tests it up there.
Yes, you're right indeed. This track has progressive banking. Don't think these guys are going to be dipping into the high line unless they're forced up there. As we mentioned, Love went around in turns 1 and 2 just a lap ago. We'll be seeing a lot of these one-car incidences here tonight. And it might take a lot for us to see a real big caution unless we see a stack up as we get a good view of these drivers coming around the corner. Love at the tail end of the field, and he is going to be lapped here shortly, I believe. You see Gamerstig and Maggio has moved to second place. He's gotten around Giraffe, and I believe Giraffe is stuck on the outside there. He's got DLJ on his inside. And Maggio looks to be closing. Gamerstig a little bit off the groove. And now at this track, you really want to get down into the center of the corner. As we see Maggio, he is really sending it in there, running a really great line. Very underrated short track racer. We go back side by side. We got a good battle right here, and we got contact between Mojo and Ride coming down the front straightaway. And you're going to see Gamerboy take us through what driver's feeling right now. Early in this race, some guys are marred back, trying to work their way through the field. How is that more challenging than it normally would be?
Well, you know, I think they're going to try to feel out the grooves, since this is definitely an interesting small track. It's got not too much banking, but as you said, progressive banking. We might see some guys try and see if they can make success up there if they're having troubles on the bottom, but I think a lot of this is testing the limits, testing how far the car can go, testing what the wall does if you hit it, what angle it does, and just seeing how far it could push another person before you might accidentally wreck them. And I think we're going to see that a lot. Like I said, the close quarters going to make things interesting here.
See a lot of these guys.
We can We can already see DJ just charge into the front. You know, he's making no time with that, but it's going to be interesting.
Take a look at this battle between Ride and Boost. They've been going at it. And we're seeing a lot of guys come off the corner a little too hot and getting into these walls, and that really does affect the right front of these cars. And it can affect how they drive for sure. As we see Gamerstig and Maggio now battling for the lead. They've just lapped Varmint already. Maggio right on Gamerstig's tail, and the key really to getting around here successfully is to use a little less brake than you normally would. Just to let off and let it float through these corners. And I think that's what Maggio has really gotten down to a science right now. Is he's really he's pressuring Gamerstig right here as they're coming up to lap Magnus. They've got a wad of lap cars ahead of them. Blackjack, Dude Molisher, Goodfellow, who was with us in the booth on Friday night for the Clash, and Love. And Magnus has pulled up to them, and here come the leaders, and Magnus stops right in front of him. He goes around, and I don't think there will be a yellow for that, but Gamer Boy, what do we talk about? This lap traffic, it really can be a hindrance to these leaders, but it can also be detrimental if you're back there as a lap car. You see these leaders coming up on you, and you sometimes don't know what to do, and stuff like that can happen.
Yeah, it's like, as a lap car, these super speedways, I think the skill range is so wide that it takes so little time for the front runners and stuff who are really good with these to just catch them, and there's not really much of a place to go, so it could also come up with confusion of how fast they're coming up behind them. I've had an incident with that, actually multiple incidents with that, but it's really difficult because it's difficult as a lap car to judge where you're going to go, and it's difficult as a front pack leader to judge where they're going to go and not hit them or anything, so it's very, very stressful.
And while you mentioned that, the leaders shoot down pit road for their first stop of the night. We're going to see a little bit more of that as we go. Maggio was the first taker as we see multiple cars coming out. It'll be interesting to see how this is sorted out.
Oh, we got some bumping on the front stretch.
And in that, the cars are in front of Maggio, tried to dive down pit road.
Varmint's in the wall. Varmint hits the wall on pit road. The actual pit road wall. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. As Glenna! Oh no!
We got a wreck,
Glenna above Gamerstig. It looks like he,
oh, we got a crash. Love, Mojo in the air. Giraffe gets hit hard by DMX. This might bring out a caution for sure. And in the middle of that craziness, we had Maggio, who had just taken the lead via pit stops, and everybody in front of him tried to shoot down pit road, and he was in that mess, and he almost got taken out. And it looks like
Glenna may have accidentally LePage the pack.
Unfortunate there as these guys circle back around to get their laps back. Guys that maybe went multiple laps down, and this gets interesting here because they're now going to have to sort out who did pit and who did not. And I believe the only drivers to not pit were Boost and Ride here.
Now, one thing I think we should talk about is that pit road. Now, getting into this is very difficult. You don't have much room, and it's a very tight turn. But once you're in, it's decently wide. But then after that, you come out, you're almost right in the turn. So I think that's not even going to be the only incident of that we're going to see today. I think we're going to see more.
Oh, for sure. I don't think we see Boost and Ride.
Boost and Ride take it to the back along with Jeremy.
Can take their pits. And yeah, you're exactly right. With this pit road, you can't really see it from my vantage point, but it's a really hard entry. It's right in the center of turns 1 and 2. I guess you could only really call that one turn, but it's right in the center, so guys are going to have to back it down really easily. And that's, where guys can benefit from being on the outside and also being in communication with those around you to make sure you do get on pit road safely and without incident. And it's to be expected, it's a short track, a lot of guys in a pack, but here we go. Maggio and Gamerstig rolling it, and they'll come back into the restart zone. DLJ had gotten up there, and he was almost ready to take the lead, but the caution came out, and here we go.
Now let me tell you, they're all bunched up again. It's going to be interesting. They've had a little bit of time to test out the track, so I think people are going to be pulling some more risks, going in a little bit deeper, possibly dive bombing, possibly giving a little bit of a bump to people. It's going to be interesting.
Someone in the back having some trouble, and that's the risk you take with staying out, and a lot of it's out of your control because these cautions can happen at any moment. Take a good look at the field coming back onto the front straightaway, but the battle for the lead is heating up as DLJ is on Maggio's back door. He sends it into the corner, and that's another thing.
Oh, Mojo around.
Mojo going around. Someone's upside down.
Magnus on his roof.
Just caught the end of that. Magnus goes upside down. So leaders come back around, and
I do believe that is a caution.
I think so. I also only saw 2 cars involved in that. but I believe there may have been a third that initiated the contact. But what I was going to mention, Gamer Boy, is short track, no slipstream. When do we see the bump and run?
You know, I think you can see the bump and run at any time because you never know how to time it, especially with a newer track like this, which at least I haven't really seen this in the TNS schedule yet. So people are going to be taking chances, and people are going to take in everything they can, and a lot less likely to give. So.
Well, we saw in the All-Star race between the two drivers that are on the point right now, DLJ and Maggio, we saw DLJ send it into the final corner, and then Maggio retaliated and ended up with the victory in that one. So it's going to be interesting to see. Only in right here, call it a stage, no points awarded at the end of this one, but it's going to be interesting to see if when we get down to the final laps of this one, whether or not drivers are going to be that aggressive. Maybe plan something for the end of the race, you think?
Possibly. Right now, with our fast lap check, we have Gamerstig with the fastest lap so far of 13.747.
And those will only continue to climb down. They'll get quicker and quicker. And they take the green flag once again. You see these guys angling into the corner, restarting on the bottom like that. You got to make sure you angle yourself into the corner.
Already 3 wide between Dude, Mollisher, Magnus, and what looks to be Ride.
Rush Hour in the back. We see beating and banging. They come off of the corner. And this is where you really got to focus on these restarts, is back here. These guys are trying to get back up to the front any way they can. You see 3 wide, Love, Boost, and Goodfella. It's so tight coming off the corner, you can accidentally squeeze someone into that wall and they could go up and over. See this front 3. I think this front 3 right here is going to be a theme all night. Ooh, Varma gets hit.
I do have to say another theme. It's more back in the pack. Powers Jeremy, he's definitely in there. Looks he's behind Glenna and he may be trying to get in front. So I wonder if maybe he can make a charge to the front, along with Magnus, who is also stuck in traffic. And you know, I think one thing we have to touch on is possibly the radio communication between drivers. You know, are they going to be polite after the penalties that have been issued so far, or are they going to be just as vicious and just as ready to go out?
Oh, Todd and Dude Mollisher. Right as you were mentioning that, Todd and Dude Mollisher got into it on the front stretch. Pick up the leaders here. Maggio had gotten out to a pretty decent lead, and I don't think there will be a caution for that. But yeah, it's going to be all about keeping a cool head here. Don't want to get too angry as we see Blackjack, Halverson, and Boost going at it. Pick up our leaders once again. Maggio, DLJ, Gamerstig. Stuff's just happened so fast here. Like we said, we have not seen a track this short, I don't think, ever. We've gone to Citrus County a few times, but nothing really compares to this. I guess Arcadius is very similar, but this is a short one. Look at these views. Pick up our leaders. I'll get a lap check for you here in 1 second. You can hear the metal clanking as these guys come off of the corner. You guys coming down to hit lap number 40.
Now, 2 tracks that I'd be interesting to see, as we're talking about short tracks, on the TNS schedule possibly, would definitely be Martinsville. I would be very entertained to see that, and possibly a Bristol.
Oh, Todd.
Would you be in support?
Oh, for sure. We've seen Martinsville a couple times, but one track I would love to see on the schedule is Bobo's brand new Martinsville. Feels pretty much just like the real thing, just judging by playing it in NASCAR Heat. As we got a battle for the lead as they hit a wad of lap traffic. You see Maggio and DLJ, Gamerstig are about to hit Ride, Magnus, and looks like Varmint. See how they slice through these lap cars. DLJ goes to the high side. Working on Maggio here. thing you see DLJ taking a wider entry into these corners, and it's really helping his exit.
Now, as you can see right now, we got 2 viewers on the stream, so welcome everybody. This is a talk show me and Vapid Gamer do. Damn, that's a bad voice track. Excuse that, please. I'm a little sick right now. Sick with the drip. But, yeah.
Well, if you're just joining, welcome. It's TNS Season 5, race number 12 from Mulligan Speedway. About halfway done in Stage 1 of this race. You see Ride not giving an inch. They're trying to lap him here. And that's going to allow DLJ to get to the inside of Maggio. We could have a change for the lead. They're side by side, beating and banging down the back straightaway. And will Maggio give it up? Oh, he's not giving it up easily, as we see Fat having some trouble on the front straightaway, and that's gonna probably... Oh, I don't know. This is really good racing right here. Oh, Maggio trying to get to him.
Now, speaking of lap traffic, it looks like they had come up on Ace, which, like I said, very little room on this track. That maybe slow DJ down a little bit, which Maggio could possibly use that as an advantage. And I think that will tend to go on for the rest of the night, you know. They may be using lap cars as an advantage to possibly get a run or even get past somebody.
I don't think that really affected DLJ as adversely as it affected Maggio, as DLJ is now pulling away from him and Gamerstig. See how Maggio can regroup from that. You see Giraffe there in 4th place trying to get back up there. He was making some good time while they were driving through lap traffic. And also Captain Mousecop said at the start of the show he won here in INCS. A little bit of different race conditions there. Slipstream was on. This vastly different, with the drivers being in more control than anything. See how he can do here. See him come around this corner. Take a look at some of the battles in the back. See the leaders coming up to lap 2 cars, Dude, Molisher, and Love. You see someone honk the horn. I believe that was DJ letting him know he's coming through. Gets around Love pretty clean here. And there is really no one better at getting through lap traffic than DJ. I don't know if it's that people know he's fast and he's got to come through, but as we see Dude, Molisher, and Maggio making contact, Gamerstick goes up and over.
Gamerstick rolls.
That was from contact from Dude, Molisher. Giraffe hit him. We'll see what happens.
That is definitely going to be a caution.
And just another example of how lap traffic can affect these leaders. Stay green for the moment. I believe we will stay green. Only 2 cars, it looks like. That is unfortunate for Gamerstig. He was running pretty well, trying to get around Maggio.
Oh, Dude, Molisher is around.
Oh, he hits her.
Selects multiple people.
That's big. Could we? Do you think that may have been some retaliation?
I definitely think that there's a chance of that.
I'm watching Gamerstig stream, and he just cleaned her out in that corner.
Now, of course, another thing is, could that have been lag?
I'm watching his live feed here, and it looks like he just sent it into that corner and turned her around. And that will definitely bring out the caution.
At the end of the day, you know, I gotta say, can't really blame him. You know, she cost him a lot of positions. He ended up going upside down. Anger happens. We may see a penalty for that.
Whether or not it was a retaliation, which it may have just been an accidental crash, but you never know. Even if it was, you gotta make sure you stay calm and have a cool head here, because we're not even done with the first stage, and we got a long way to go here. So it's just important to keep a level head. But that was definitely interesting. We'll have to catch up with those involved in that after the race to see if indeed that was intentional. But it's very interesting. Caught that on stream here, and I've got his live feed up for the lap count, and it did look like he drove into the corner and got her. But along with that lap check, we are on lap 63 of 99 in this first segment.
Now the big thing is, I do not believe he waited on her, did he?
I don't know if he did or not, but like I said, we'll have to see what arises from that situation. Once again, not saying that that's what happened. That's just from my angle, that's what it looked like had happened. But here we go, into the restart zone. DLJ is the control car, and we are green once again.
Now looking back at the field, dude, Malcher is second to last with only 8 insane fat behind her, as we have people already wrecking at turn 1.
Glenna, it looks like, down the back. Maybe Todd. Oh,
Blackjack is
Blackjack.
around.
Oh,
Dude, Malcher's in. Now one thing to remember is all cars, but Todd is on a inside prop, maybe pulling it in the pit road.
I believe he's pulling it
now
off.
one thing to definitely remember as a rules analysis is you cannot call a caution until every single car has passed through.
Very true. They did not, I don't think they, well, for sure they did not make it a lap, the entire field. I believe Todd's pulling it off here, and he will have a chance to get back going in the second stage. He's not going to lose all those laps. He'll be able to regain them once we get there. Lap number 67.
But yeah, along with that, like, it's a common misconception. Some people think only the lead car has to pass, but that's not true. Every single car has to go through the start-finish line and make it through one lap before you can call another caution.
And they indeed did not make it to the line, the last few cars in the pack.
Oh! Mojo almost turns Bulldogs by what looks like Bulldogs accidentally came up on him.
Oh, but he's going to come up into Bulldogs.
Mojo's around!
Squeeze them into the wall. Only a couple cars there,
caution.
But those guys were, like you said, were going at it for a little bit, and Mojo came up into him. Judging by the looks of it, I think Bulldogs has told him to keep on going as the leaders circle through their second pit stop of the night. Remember, we'll have 2 more coming into the second stage. This is the last one of this one. You see them all circle back around, and this is when it gets crazy on pit exit here. Cars coming out, circling back out with lap traffic, and it's so difficult because this is where a lot of time can be lost and a lot of time can definitely be made by opportunists. You see Captain Boost and Captain have circled out with the lead. They'll still have to make their pit stops. Here's some honking. A lot of tension, a lot of nerves, and it'll only ramp up.
Yeah, pitting is definitely where it brings a lot of cars back. Ooh, looks like Matthew was really on Ace's bumper. Don't know if that was out of aggravation or trying to get Ace to move out the way, whether or not Ace is a lap car.
And you know, we've seen more guys than others get frustrated with lap traffic, and Maggio knows he's got to go, right? So he's gonna be on the bumper. These guys, gonna pressure these guys into getting out of his way for sure. And you saw that right there. You see Dude Mollisher going around off the bumper of AJK on the front stretch. Having some more trouble tonight. And DLJ.
Looks like it's only one car, so we will stay green.
I believe it was a stack up down the front straightaway between AJK and Gamerstay was the last car involved in that. So you hear these guys, they're running hard. You can hear them hitting the wall coming off the corner. Take a look at our leader, and he's coming up to lap Dude Mollisher. Actually, he's not the leader. He's in second place, my bad. That's the leader. That's DLJ. He's coming up to lap some more cars here. AJK was involved in that last crash, and AJK moves out of the way. Not even going to try battling with DLJ here. And remember, Gamer Boy, if these cars are battling, they do not have to give right away to the leader.
Correct. Along with that, the rule is if you are within slipstream length of another car within your lap, that is definitely considered battling, and therefore you do not have to yield to the leaders.
Oh, we got Captain
After
going
25
around.
is around.
Captain he didn't go fully around, but he definitely got contacted in that corner, and he was able to hang on to it. I don't know who it was that hit him, but I don't see
It was
a
the
car
43.
waiting. And that is, 43 is Love. I don't think I see anybody waiting. May have been mutual contact. We'll have to keep an eye. This pack of cars right here, this is some pretty solid racing, but this is where you see a lot of the trouble occur. This is back here.
Now, as you can see, even after the pits, I think one thing that's going to come to benefit is we are getting a little bit more spread out, so it's not all completely bunched together. But, you know, even with them spreading out, people can catch up. Lap cars can be caught up by the non-lap traffic. It's going to be interesting. You have to remember, lap cars only have to yield to the leaders. If you're not the leader, a lap car does not have to yield for you.
Very true. That's another great point you bring up. I think that's where DLJ is benefiting right here. And he's coming up to a pretty good-sized group of lap cars here as the laps are winding down in stage number 1. And Todd has called it a night. He's pulling it into the garage, and we'll see if he comes back. I don't think he will be back for stage 2 by the looks of it, because he pulled it off and went to the garage, but he for sure probably will not be back in tonight's race. Tough break for him. He's had some pretty good runs, but just not his night.
Now, another thing to think about is this is not the wildest this track could have even been. We are, in fact, only running with about 23 drivers currently racing on the track, which, from recent races, is a bit of a low. We've had races, I think, this season where we've averaged 27, 28, and even 29 people. So, this isn't even the most chaotic it could have been, but you know what? It's still a spectacle.
DLJ has stretched it out. That's him, and we'll go back to second place. That's Maggio right there. About a straightaways difference between the two. Maybe a little less than that, but nonetheless. Completing lap number 91. These guys will get a chance to have a little break, a little breather, and they'll be right back at it. See, Boost, he's hanging on, running pretty well. He was looking at his lap times in practice, and he was running right up there with the leaders. So no surprise to see him. He's got a short track win here. 2 short track wins in TNS. Actually 3 if you count Venray back in season 1. Here we go. Pretty much single car all the way around the track right now as DLJ continues to slice through lap traffic. Fat getting out of the way.
Yep, you are right. They were all single cars. Kind of just like me. Ladies, hit me up.
Gamer Boy with the quips. Good fella gets out of the way for DJ. And we got a good battle right here. Oh, and Boost is going to spin Giraffe and maybe taking Gamer Boy with him. Glenna goes around. And remember here, it's only the first stage, so caution still can be called.
Bruh. Maybe taking Gamer Boy with them. Definitely, dude.
And that's going to end the first stage. DLJ crosses the line in first. Maggio second. And that's how they'll restart coming into the next stage. Well, what did we learn so far, Gamer Boy?
People are gonna take chances. People are gonna get angered on this track. There's gonna be some bump and runs. There could be some bump and runs that go wrong and accidentally wreck people. There may be possibly devoted wrecks. Gamer Boy might be involved in some more stuff, as you said. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Last car, dude, Mollisher, she's multiple laps down. See over there in the right-hand corner, that's Blackjack's car with his signature dive out of the car move. And the fastest lap to end that stage looks like it was a 13.668 from DJ. And like I said, those lap times will be climbing as the run goes on. And one thing to note is that the fastest lap of both stages, whoever gets it will be awarded with the fastest lap. Everybody seems to have gotten into the 13-second lap times. Everybody is looking pretty fast tonight. So you see two people getting the same fastest lap time, 13.747, Giraffe and Gamerstig. And at the end of that stage it was Boost getting into Giraffe. Maybe believe Giraffe may have come down on him. But in a second here, before we take our break, we'll have to see if we can't dial up our stage winner, DLJ, here in a second. Good racing so far. We got 99 more laps. So if you're just joining, that was not the end of the race. Still got 99 more laps to go to the end of this thing. See if we can. Leadfoot is gone. This might also give one thing. I know I've done this before back at Arcadius Season 2 of TNS. Is a lot of these guys could have used that 99 laps to test the setup. They could have used a setup that they may have thought would work, maybe didn't work to their liking, so now they're going to be able to use a different setup here. That is not that's not illegal here. They can run a different setup in the second stage here. So let's try to see if we can dial up our stage winner, DLJ.
Alright, so let's just do the 5-minute break now then. So it's 9:50 Eastern Time. Let's call it 9:55 Eastern Time. See, can we dial up our stage 1 winner, DLJ? It's Vapid Gamer up in the Lyra Sports booth. You got a copy? Yes, sir, I got you.
Well, you look like you were on rails out there, DJ. Having a pretty good car. What are you feeling out there so far?
Yeah, track's feeling pretty good tonight. I have a really good longhorn car. Not sure about the short runs, but once the long runs get going, I can kind of start getting into my rhythm. So, car and racer teams built me a very fast rag run Class A hot ring saber. So if we keep this up, I think we'll bring our team to victory lane.
Thanks for chatting with us. Hopefully you have a clean 99 laps to the finish, and hopefully maybe see that 61 car back in victory lane. We just our first place finisher from the first 99 laps, and we'll take this time to, as they're on their 5-minute break, we'll remind you of how the point standings are currently in the Torque NASCAR Series. Just a couple races to go in the Season 5 campaign. Go to Thrilla at Zilla next week, and then the week after that, the Powzilla Roval, and then the final 2 races of the season. Got a large oval at Los Santos Speedway 2.0, and then Phoenix, where it all ends always for TNS. Take a look at our point standings. We got DLJ ahead of Maggio by 110 points. So I think it's safe to say DLJ might have this one locked up. Barring some absences, But he's got a pretty safe lead over Maggio. And then back to Adder, who announced his retirement from TNS competition a couple weeks ago. He is still sitting in third. That just shows you how good of a season he was running up until just a few weeks ago. And then back to Gamerstig, who is back by 143 points. Then Love is in the last position for a team captain spot. And then back to Leadfoot, Josh, Jeremy, Magnus, Halverson. That's the top 10 in points. And then back to the top 15, we got Giraffe. Missed a few races this season. He was up with us in the booth at Roval Raceway. Then DMX, then Ride Lightning, and AJK, and then Boost. And then on back we got Bulldogs, Blackjack, Inner Ghost, Goodfella, Todd, Fat, Dude Molisher, Mojo, who's been part-time, Mouse Cop, who made his return, and looky there's the Gamer Boy. Sits currently in 25th in points. And then on back. Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, I might take a quick 5-minute break.
Alright. We'll use that as our commercial break. We got some viewers here. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the stream. This is going to be a good one to rewatch tomorrow morning, for sure. Had some pretty good action out there so far. And before I do go on, our commercial break will remind you of the team points, which we've been kind of lacking in reminding you about. Team Fruity Racing is currently leading the team point standing.
Ah, shit, you invited me too early.
It's alright, you can just leave and rejoin.
That's what I'm doing.
We apologize for that language.
Oh, I forgot we were streaming. Whoopsies.
It's alright, we'll edit that out, maybe.
Put that in the blooper reel.
That'll go in. That'll for sure go in Goodfellas highlight reel. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Team Fruity Racing leads the points despite not having a win this season. And then back to Lethal Boys Racing. They are behind by just 3 points. And then back to Car and Racer. Then Team Core, and then Team Powers Motorsports, sitting in 5th with 711 points. I believe in a couple weeks, let's see, go back to our point standings here.
I'll be right back.
Adder has called it quits, I believe. Leadfoot may be taking the team captain spot for that team. He is highest in points of those guys. One thing I'm getting word from some guys in the Fruity Racing camp. A little bit of confusion between Maggio and Mojo on entering pits. See how that shakes up, and we talked about how challenging it is to get on pit road here. They'll take my place back on the spotter stand once again. I'm stuck. Pick up there. All right. 99 laps. It's all on the line here. We will restart with DLJ and Maggio on the front row.
Are they in the race lobby yet?
Yeah, here. I
Like
got
the
you.
actual?
Yep, I got you.
Alright, cool. Just want to make sure I didn't get invited too early and
Yep. There you go. And
they
here we go.
didn't brown their pants.
Here we go. We are getting back rolling here.
Here we go!
2x2 coming into the restart zone. DLJ is control car. And here's the run to the finish. We're back underway. Little late restart there from DLJ. That stacks up behind him. A little bit of contact. They get through it clean for the most part, and Maggio's right back on DLJ's bumper. See if he'll use it. Stack up in the back. There's a little bit of contact. DLJ is trying to get away from Maggio here. And Boost now into the picture.
Now, what do you think will be changes, or if we even have any changes, for this stage?
Well, that's a good question. I think since a lot of these guys have logged enough laps, I think it's going to be... Most of these guys are going to be in their rhythm once again. So I think we may see a cleaner stage here. Oh, as we see Giraffe get into Goodfella. There's the bump and run, like we were talking about. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think we might see a cleaner stage now that everybody's pretty much gotten the wrecks out of the way. May see some cautions here. I think we'll definitely see a caution or two. But a lot of these guys have been able to learn the track.
Well, personally, I think we might actually see a more dirtier stage now that people know of how to go through the track and stuff, and tempers may have already been flaring from the first stage, and this stage is going for points, so I think people will definitely be a lot more aggressive.
Points on the line. That's what it's all about here. See the two leaders, and Gamerstig has caught up to Boost now for third place. So we see Halverson having some trouble getting off the corner. He and Captain are battling. Captain unfortunately mired back as a result of an incident in the first stage. He and Love made contact. That's why he's back there. Take up the leaders. Getting very close to lapping, getting to the first lap cars once again, and see Gamerstig sends it into the corner trying to get around Boost. He's one guy so far we've seen that is not afraid to use the bumper. He loses a little bit of ground there. Oh, we got a crash. Ace the Fat goes around. He's going to have some trouble getting back going because here comes the field right by him. That's an unfortunate circumstance to be in, Gamer Boy. Finds hole.
Yeah, I've been there before. It's tight. You don't know what you're gonna do. You know, you don't know what you can do. You know, personally, when I've been in that situation, I have felt like anything I do will and could go wrong. And sometimes, unfortunately, it has. But hopefully, he waits for most of the people to pass by and gets a good place to start going again.
He's gonna have to hope for a caution here, because that put him back many spots. He's back to last place. Won't be last place since Todd has DNF'd.
Oh,
he's last
Gamerstig around on the front bumper of the #1 car.
And that would be Giraffe. Missed that on here, but that is unfortunate. Gamerstig was trying to work on Boost, and that's going to set him back a few positions. Not too many positions, but certainly will be unfortunate for him as we see a 4-car battle between Captain, Giraffe, Ride, and Halverson.
And it's been a difficult night for Gamerstig. He's rolled it. He's been wrecked a couple times. Been involved in a couple cautions. You think that may play into his aggression possibly at the end of the race? Or do you think he may be trying to play it smooth?
Well, he's probably frustrated right now. I'm not in the car right now, but if I'm him... Oh, as we see a crash!
Sorry.
Leadfoot and Jeremy. Sorry to interrupt you, Gamer Boy. As we see Halverson lagging. Horrible lag from Halverson. That's one thing we have not seen in a while.
Hold it to the side.
Yeah, he's gonna pull it off here. He's having some trouble with that car. A little bit of lag. But, you know, back to what I was saying. If I'm Gamerstig, I'm definitely frustrated right now. That's just me. We see Halverson he's right in front of the leaders here. This is gonna, oh, and it does shake up the field. Maggio and Dude Molisher. He tried to get it back going. Didn't work. He's still lagging terribly. Tough break for Halverson. We know how good he is. Still yet to get that first win. And he's gonna
Looks
try
like we got some guys going down pit road.
Here we go for second to last stop of the night. Someone had trouble getting on pit road, I think, and they may have missed it. And they had to get back, and we got a car around. It's Blackjack. He might be backing it up down pit lane.
Varmint too. Varmint is reversing all the way down.
Second to last pit
Put
stop.
it in reverse, Terry.
Oh, and they both. What a move! Oh, and Varmint trying to get going, gets into Blackjack. Oh, and there's Giraffe going around. We'll see how that
Another
shakes
thing
up.
to remember
Oh,
was
Mojo.
pit road incidents cannot result in a caution. No cautions can be called for pit road incidents.
We'll see if they call
Now,
that
I do
outside of pit
Oh,
road.
Giraffe is around after Powers accidentally got him to him, or purposely.
I don't think that was a purposeful incident, but definitely.
I believe I just saw a light pole go down on the front stretch.
I did too. I saw that on Maggio's stream, and they are going to call that a caution. Lot to sort through here. Lot to sort through. Madness on pit road. Definitely not the time you want to have a pit road problem is in the second to last pit window, and we still have one to go. So, do you think maybe these drivers have learned from that now that they've made their mistakes? You think they'll be able to make it through the next pit window clean?
You know, I think they've learned from some of their mistakes, but learning from a mistake does not mean you won't repeat it. It just means you know it can happen. So I think next pit window won't be as dirty, but I do believe we may see some more hiccups in the next one. So we just gotta wait and see.
And Halverson has left the building, and he will not finish the race. Unfortunate. He was having some lag problems there. Had to pull it off, and it looks like he's gonna call it a night. Tough break for him. So you see he may have lagged out because we see his car moving down there. See if I can snipe him out. He's trying to drive away. I got it.
You see Rabbit doing the Assassin's public service.
We got it taken care of. His car's stopped moving, and he will not be a hindrance to the field. On the front row, we got DLJ and now Boost. So Maggio had an issue there with some lap cars coming out of pit road. And that's going to allow Boost to take second place. He's one name. He's sitting on a pretty big winless streak here. And he did get a few short track wins. His first 3 out of his 4 wins in TNS came at short tracks. His first one coming back at Citrus County in Season 1.
Now I gotta say, one thing to really look at so far, and a person to keep note of, is Gamerstick. Despite his hiccups, he's already up to 7th place.
Well, after his hiccup, he was kind of sitting back there anyway, but still, he's going to use this caution to his advantage. He's going to try to get around these guys in front of him, and we'll see what he can do. As we see some stack up in the back, green flags back in the air. DLJ with a pretty good launch, and some guys are choosing to come down pit road now, or looks like it's a false start. Looked like they were coming down pit road, but it was a false start. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, looks like we have a person out of the car and then was hit by another car.
Yeah, I believe.
And Varmint is levitating.
Yeah, someone's having some trouble there. I believe Varmint. And Mojo is gone. Oh, and we've got a major issue here.
Oh no. Big lag out.
Major issue. Huge lag out.
Well, due to me being banned and executed from the Slack, you will have to invite me to the next one.
It looks...
And make sure to let me know when the next one's actually racing. And keep me updated on this too.
It looks as though there was an app crash from some guys. So now they're going to be reloading. So when big issues like this happen, and it hasn't happened luckily while we've been broadcasting, but when these issues happen, if a certain amount of guys lag out, they will attempt to restart the race. And it looks like as though this is going to be happening here. And one thing to note.
Jeremy gave me an invite.
One thing to note is sometimes lag-outs like this can happen when there's a lot of shooting on the track. Not sure if that played a role, but this is going to give guys like Halverson an opportunity to join back, maybe even Todd. So see if they choose to get their cars back on track. But big lag-out issues. Similar to a rain delay. A little bit of a rain delay. They'll get the jet dryers out on track and do a quick cleanup here. Red flag is out. So my guess is they'll restart from where they left off. So 75 laps instead of 99. Got through about 25 laps there. So they'll restart where they left off. I believe DLJ was in the lead. Little bit of a delay here, but it shouldn't hurt. Shouldn't hurt too much. And we'll use this time to take a quick break. And we'll be back for the restart of this stage. Alright, we're back here live on Lear Sports, coverage of the Torque NASCAR Series. Under a weather delay currently at Mulligan Speedway, but we're getting ready to get back going. DLJ is leading. He's dominated for the most part tonight. We just had our 5-minute break between stages, and then we get this giant lag out. So, Gamer Boy, what are these drivers thinking right now? We just had a break. Now we've had a massive lag out, and now we're having another break, so the stoppage of racing, does that affect the driver? How does that play into this race?
I think that gives guys to think, plan out strategy. And now, of course, with this thing, we're in the second stage, so if there's another mass flag out, although I'm not sure of this, but that might be the end of the race, so I think we're going to see a lot more aggression because of that.
For sure. A couple guys who had been experiencing some lag did lag out. Halverson was the first to do so. And I believe Leadfoot and Mojo's games crashed. And once again, the rule is if a certain amount, I'm not sure, Gamerboy, I'm sure you can back me up on this rule, but a certain percentage of the field does lag out, they will restart from that point.
I believe it is, if 3 people lag out, then that is where they either call the race or they do a restart. We've had times before we've done 2 restarts and then we postpone it, 2 restarts, and then we call it, 1 restart and we call it, so it's going to be interesting. They haven't been really all too consistent, but of course, with that, it's not a very common thing that happens, so it's going to be interesting.
I'm getting word from driver, I'm getting word from Josh actually, a light pole kept falling onto the track as well, and that played into that. So they had to clean that up, get that repaired, and once they do that, we'll get some of the other guys back in here and we'll get going. So, unfortunately, delay here, but we'll get back going soon. And yeah, a pole, light pole, kept falling on the track, and that's one of the aesthetically pleasing features of this track is that what Adder did is he squeezed this track basically in between the two rows of light poles that are in Fort Zancudo, and that's what gives it that short track Saturday night feel. And apparently one of those had broken loose somehow, and it kept falling on the track, and as a result some guys' games had crashed. And that's
Let me know when they actually get the game lobby going again.
don't believe it was any of my doing. I did not when I was going to my spotter's stand. I don't think I hit that light pole.
News: Vapid broadcaster fired after ruining TNS race.
No, that's what I'm worried about. I did not hit the pole. I'm looking back at the stream and it just looks like, well, because when people get up on the wall like that, they could potentially knock it loose, and because it's wedged in between a couple props, could cause it to glitch out a little bit. Yeah, that's what we're restarting here for. Track repairs. That's a first, I believe. I don't think a race has been delayed or restarted because of the track breaking before, but that's a first, and seeing it live here on Lear Sports coverage of TNS.
Well, let's get a Slack update with this. You know, what are the drivers saying? What are officials saying? What's the plan right now?
Well, it looks like, well, from the looks of it, these guys are getting back going. A lot of guys had to relaunch their apps. Those being Love, Halverson, of course, Leadfoot, and we're also seeing maybe Giraffe and Gamerstig have been called out by Boost for some aggressive driving. So we'll see what happens with that. That was a while ago. That was after the first stage. So maybe that has
Yeah, Vapid Kingstar Jr. covering all the drama.
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
You good?
Yes. The boys found my thing.
Found your what?
This spreadsheet.
Something tells me I don't want to know.
No, you don't want to know.
Are there things being spread on the spreadsheet?
No. They ruined my plan.
What was your plan?
I'll tell you after the broadcast.
Oh boy, this ought to be good.
It's fucking great.
Well, right now, while we're waiting on the whole stream and stuff, not sponsored, but shout out to Taco Bell, dude. I got like them Cinnabons, you know, like little Cinnabon bowls. Got that frosting cream kind of thing in the middle of it. Dude, those with a Baja Blast, hitting, man. It was buzzing.
Fucking dying. Fucking I knew they would.
I believe we have that big trying on the other end. You
Alright,
need
here
some
we
ice
go.
cream, bud?
Yes. Okay.
What's your favorite ice cream?
I don't know. Alright, we're going back racing. My bad, everybody. The boys
Invite, please.
foiled my plan. We're going green here. I'll get you this invite, gamer boy. I don't know if I could do the rest of this. Oh man.
Well, I guess that's why you got me here.
We got some contact down the front. I see. I'm trying to keep it together.
Man, this must be good.
It's fucking great. I'll tell you about it later. Excuse my language. We got a battle
Excuse
for
that
second.
language, ladies and gentlemen.
We got a battle for second here. DLJ is pulling away.
Damn, I think Babbitt got a little bit of that they them pussy.
No, shut up. Okay.
It's okay, amigo. You can pull it together.
We got Mojo. Bulldog's on his bumper. Oh, he squeezes Leadfoot in the wall. Leadfoot goes up and over multiple times. He's barrel rolling down the front stretch. Oh, and Fat takes out AJK. Separate incidents there, so we'll see what happens.
Well, it looks like so far my predictions are coming true, as we are going 3 wide between Love. It looks like possibly Glenna and whoever's in the black 28, and we have a caution.
And that'll bring out the caution.
Can we get a lap check?
I believe they are on lap number 7 of 75 in this stage.
So far, it looks like it's been aggressive, so my plan might be coming true.
And here we go. And here we go, we're back racing. DLJ and Boost is now battling for the lead. And how about Bulldogs? He's up in the top 5 now. He's having a quiet night. Usually does good on these short tracks. Very underrated. And how about Captain Mousecop? He's fought his way back to the front, and here he is. Oh, we got a crash.
Love the dub is around.
Love around on the front stretch.
That may be a caution, so another guy did accidentally hit him while he was around. So.
Yeah, not sure how many cars. Not sure how many cars involved in that. We got a lot of drivers.
Versus
Big
Halverson
stack
down
up.
below.
Oh, Goodfella and Blackjack maybe going around. Dude Molisher does. Varmint involved in that, and I believe. Oh no, wait. It looks like Maggio has caught up to DLJ. Remember, these two have some history back at the All-Star race.
However, one thing is, we do stay green.
Oh, and Maggio's getting close to that bumper. We know he's not afraid to use it, for sure, especially thinking back to the All-Star race and how these two raced each other.
DJ, fastest lap with the 13.677.
And that Oh, and there's a car stopped. Blackjack, oh, and
Right in turn 3.
that's a dangerous spot, and he can't move. He just cannot move because there's a car coming every second. So it's going to be tough. He's going to find some room now, and it looks like the caution
we
will
go
be
into a
out.
caution. You know, personally, my advice for him, I'd throw it in reverse. Back it up to the wall, you know, if that keeps you most out of the way. And, I mean, yeah, that's what I'd do. Of course, I'm no longer present within this league except for the booth, but any advice helps. Yo, is it just me or does the front grille make it look like these cars have mustaches?
A little bit. I can see it.
Like, yeah, you look at the front of Glenna's car, and it's like that one dude, you know the Cars movie, the green dude?
Chick Hicks,
I think he's kind of, yeah.
based off of him a little bit.
Well, I don't know if it's based off him, but it
Based off
looks like him.
based off the Chevy Lumina, used in the early '90s by NASCAR. But we're going back green here.
DJ and Matthew leading in the front. Or green.
Here we go. Maggio gets to his inside here. We see a change of the lead. Oh, he's just being very conservative here. You know, it's still early.
Oh, Stig and Giraffe into the infield.
Big crash. Big crash into the corner. Multiple cars involved.
That
Stig.
would definitely be a caution.
I'd have to say so, as we see Boost trying to make the move on Maggio. Oh, and we see Halverson getting spun. A lot of things to sort out here on this restart. A lot of things.
A lot of action there.
But yeah, just as Maggio was about to take that lead, we saw a huge crash in turns 1 and 2. And we're gonna rack him up and do it again. I thought I said it was gonna be a clean stage, and I guess you hit it right on the head. It has been anything but, especially with the delay.
It's like a problem between Mojo and Glenna for position. Going to throwing it in reverse. That definitely may be something that may be discussed within the Slack afterwards. Going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because they have been cracking down with the mic chatter. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do for that. And we are rolling. Meanwhile, I do believe Vapid has died on the other end, so I guess I'll take over for a little bit.
No, we're still here.
Right now, front 4 we have DJ, then Maggio on the outside, and then Boost, new guy for this season. He did have a couple hiccups at the local road course, but he's doing good. And Captain.
Yeah, he's having a
As
really good
we
race
come
here.
into the restart zone, and we take the green.
Green flag back in the air.
DJ Maggio, they immediately get single file, but Maggio is not trying to stay in that position. He wants first, and he'll do anything to get it.
No, yeah, I think he's just waiting for the right opportunity. He's had some really good restarts, and I believe he's just searching. He's been really good. Like when we talked to DJ and during the break, he said he had a really good short run car, and that looks to be the case because Maggio's been faster off these restarts. We see him go 3 wide in the back. There's a squeeze into the wall. And we see Varmint pulling it down. Oh, and there goes the light pole again. Looks
Quite
like
the battle between Mouse Cop and Boost.
A couple guys are gonna hit it. I believe that started with Varmint and Blackjack, and we will go under caution again for this light pole that has been a hindrance. And I don't know how it started falling, but it just tipped over after Blackjack and Varmint made contact. It just tipped on over.
Well, so far for this restart, it is the exact same front lineup with DJ, Maggio, Boost, and Captain Mousetrap. So
Yeah, not a lot of
very interesting up front.
not a lot of movement from these guys. I mean, and just Maggio. I'm looking at the chat right now, and he's saying he's so much better on the short run, and he's really shown that. But now he's going to be on the outside here. We'll see what he does with it.
Now, I think one guy to look at, and I've been saying this the whole race, is Gamerstig. I think he's going to try to make a charge to the front as we are coming to the restart zone.
He's in the back right now. How many positions do you think he can make as the pole falls out of the way, it looks like?
And we would not be going green.
And they'll be pacing it around, I believe, to see if it despawns. And it's not
Do
moving.
you think this light pole will come into consideration for this track possibly not being chosen next season?
I don't think it's going to be chosen next season anyway, but that's a good point for future references. Tracks like these that do implement the light poles that can fall over. Maybe in the future, I don't know if we'll be able to run these tracks with the issues that they have presented tonight. So we'll see if they do go green this time. And I believe they will. It looks to be...
And light pole comes down again. And it's being pushed.
Yeah, they're gonna...
We are not going to go green.
See,
What's going to be interesting for what sees.
What keeps happening is, I'm watching Maggio stream, what keeps happening is every time they run across, and they're going to restart again, every time they pass it, it keeps following, or falling rather.
Oh.
So they're going to do another restart here. Very unfortunate. And they were 25 laps into that run.
Yeah, I think the only way this track could possibly be featured again is if the light poles are removed. However, with that, adder is no longer present from what I've heard within the racing community, so it's unlikely to see that.
So we will have another delay here at Mulligan. Some of the drivers are telling me the pole does keep falling on the track. So yeah, I think you're right, Gamerboy. I don't think we will be seeing... Well, the only way we'll have to run these tracks is if people use the prop or the fixture remover to remove those poles. And that's unfortunate because that's one of the aesthetically pleasing things about this track, is that it utilizes those lights as if they were actually illuminating around the actual track. So, about 25 laps in, so that was only a 75 lap run.
A real quick question. Has Jeremy said anything about me spectating within the Slack? He sent me like 4 invites, so I don't know if maybe he said something about good behavior spectating within race or not, because I've received at least 4 invites from him.
Believe not. I believe he's just getting you so that you can spectate.
Okay.
So, looks like we'll be going back green 50 laps to the finish, barring another restart. And these weather delays, we haven't seen anything quite like this. Every time it looks like they passed, it kept falling repeatedly. Not sure why that is, so I don't think I can tell you why that's occurring. But, yeah, so that just adds another piece of the madness we've seen tonight, Gamerboy. We've seen a pretty solid race, though. The first stage, we had a few cautions in the first stage, but it looks like this stage has been a caution fest. How do you think the end of this thing is going to turn out?
I think everybody's gonna be fighting for every position they can get because I can see this is gonna be at least our second restart just this stage. Who knows how long it's gonna be until we may have to restart again or they may call it. So I think people are gonna try to get whatever they can, and they're gonna charge to the front. Nobody's gonna be giving anybody any room.
Well, it's going to be Maggio and DLJ on the front row again. I don't think I've seen anybody that's been able to touch them tonight, other than I believe Boost has had a really solid night, and Gamerstig. So it'll be interesting to see. If you're just joining. Technical difficulties with the track so far tonight. Hopefully we can get this one finished. This one's run a little bit longer than normal. 51 laps. So we'll have to see. Fat joining back in. And a couple of guys who've taken advantage of these lag outs, or rather these restarts, is Halverson. He lagged out a little bit ago, pulled into the garage, but these restarts have allowed him to get his laps back and get back going. I think even at one point he had shut off his game and he thought he was done. But he is back in it. Trying to salvage some positions. He's been mired back, so we'll see what he can do. Still a long way to go, but 13-second lap times, 51 laps is not that long, and we still have a pit window to go. We saw how crazy that first pit window was in this segment, so I think we might see more of the same there. We'll take this moment to step aside, and we'll be back with hopefully the finish. Alright, we're back here at Mulligan Raceway. We just had a bit of a delay twice. "51 laps to go here at Mulligan Raceway. DLJ leads over Maggio.
Are they currently in the race thing?
Yep, you're good to join here. Well, sorry to the folks that were in for what we thought was going to be a quick one. This one has drug out a little bit longer than it was supposed to, with these two delays caused by this pole right here. Keeps falling into the track. They repaired it again, so hopefully that won't cause any more problems. And just for safe measure, I'm not taking my car over here, just in case I hit that pole. So now, Oh, and we have Ride and Mojo going at it. Mojo gets killed by Ride. Definitely not the best way to start the stage. Are you good to join?
I'm in here.
Alright, sweet. Well, we've got some pretty new contenders into the mix. I won't say new, but guys who have gotten many chances to get back up there and have a chance at taking advantage of that, those being Boost and Captain Mousecop. We talked about Captain. He won the last race ran here back in INCS in season 9. That was its last season. It's hard to believe that was almost a year ago, INCS's last season. And we're glad Captain has dipped it into the TNS competition. And he's in position to maybe score his first TNS win. But, I mean, I'm looking at DLJ and Maggio. Who do you got, Gamer Boy?
You know what? I might have to say it. I'm looking at Gamerstick. I think Gamerstick can pull it off, and, you know. Maggio, I'd say that's a good chance, but I think Ride Lightning. Ride might also get up there and pull something off.
Ride very...
You know, it's usually not a name that we pull up with this all that much, but... I mean, hey, we had an upset before for Glenna one, so
that's for Talladega.
Props to him.
Yeah, Ride is a very underrated short track racer. And he's had a solid night. He's in the back as a result of a couple instances, but we'll see if he can get back up to the front. Meanwhile, the leaders work their way into the restart zone. Green flags back in the air. 50 laps remaining. One more pit window to go. These guys are going to have to be extra careful. And
ooh,
you know,
Ride got bumped by Magnus. Not wide.
And, you know, a lot of the intensity has picked up. Their emotions have been
And
bottling.
Ride turns Magnus.
Magnus saves it. And this is just a product. These guys have been waiting here. The intensity level, they've been able to sit on it for a little while. And they've been ready to go, and that's just a product of it. So we see a battle for third place. DMX into the picture. Where's he been all night?
You know, I've seen Run mid-pack, but I think he was just trying to keep his nose down and out the way.
Captain Airborne goes around.
Oh, he came down in front of Blackjack. Dude, Maul's shirt is in.
Todd goes underneath him, and
that'll be a caution.
For sure.
That was nasty.
Looks like Todd was ramping underneath Captain there on the backstretch. Tough break for Captain. Pulled back in front of Blackjack. Just nowhere to go. And when you're stuck on the track like that, you have no option but to just sit there, or you're gonna cause a wreck. And Todd, we mentioned, is back. He left partway through the first stage. You see him sitting there in the front stretch. I believe he's waiting on Captain.
But yeah, let me tell you, I think my prediction has come right. You know, people are giving it everything. They're taking everything they can and not giving up the even tiniest bit of room. But I mean, at these short tracks to get up front, you gotta be aggressive. You gotta take all you can. But there's definitely going to be some temper flaring. Possibly penalties coming out. I've seen quite a few wrecks. And I think this might have an effect on next race too.
No, note to self, don't listen to whatever I say in my predictions. Because I predicted this to be a clean, straight through to the finish stage, and it's been anything but that. We've seen 2 delays, madness on pit road, and we've seen some heavy crashes. And here we go, back rolling again. DMX had and like he said, he's been mid-pack all race, but here he is, second row on this restart. How's this gonna play out? But other than that, it's been the DLJ and Maggio show as we go green flag once again.
Immediately 3 wide at the line. Cameron, Josh, Bulldogs, and Ride.
Ooh,
And
got
there's
a
a
mess.
massive pile of
Ride, heavy
Bulldogs.
impact. It's T-bone.
Bulldogs, unfortunately, a bad one in there.
AJK going around a couple of cars into the wall. Looks like Bulldogs, Fat, Captain. Unfortunate. Oh, and Fat goes around off the bumper of Todd. Captain's involved in it again. And here come the leaders.
I gotta say, that's very unfortunate for Bulldogs. This seems he's been involved in a lot of wrecks and has more or less been a victim carried around now.
Boost gets hit into the wall by DMX, it looks like, coming off of that corner.
Racing with him, I've seen him. He's a very humble guy, very nice and everything. He'll give you your room. It's pretty sad to see him, unfortunately, involved in some of this stuff, but hopefully he'll recover and get on up there.
Meanwhile, we got a battle for the lead. Maggio has taken over the race lead, and there's a traffic jam behind him. Side by side now, DLJ is going to try the crossover move, sends it deep into the corner. What's Maggio going to do? He keeps the outside, and DLJ just warms to close the door.
AJK into him. That may be a caution right there.
That's in the back. We'll see what happens there. Right in front of the leaders. Maggio going to try to pull the crossover. Oh, they made contact. Man, these guys are racing hard.
Todd either waiting or nope, he is pulling it off again.
Todd has called it a night. Oh, Maggio maybe pulling the bump and run. He clears him for the moment. This is intense racing right here. Between these two leaders.
Meanwhile, HAK has a front row view.
These guys have been going at it all night. And late in the going, it's all culminating right here.
Oh, we have a guy running across the track.
Believe it's Todd. He's coming into the stands.
I do believe he may be receiving a talking to for that one.
You see that exit by Maggio there. That allowed DLJ to get alongside him. This battle for the lead continues. See, DLJ lets him in there. And these guys are racing pretty smart for the most part right now. See two guys behind him battling, Fat and AJK, as well as Leadfoot, who is trying to work his way up there. He's silently creeping into the picture here. He's running in third place. Oh, close contact.
Whoa.
Oh, and that caused Maggio to get a little loose off that corner. DLJ is squeezing him in the wall, and that's one thing I've noticed by a lot of these guys. They don't really like to give as much room as they probably could. And that's just the product of this type of racing. Everybody wants every position, every point matters. Especially Maggio, not so much battling, he's second in points, but he's way behind. But he's trying to keep every point he can because he's still in contention for that team captain spot. As we see DLJ goes down pit road and Leadfoot follows. We've seen this before.
I gotta say, with Maggio, I can see why he's being very aggressive. I mean, he's had a lot on his plate this season. You know, his team has been cut down a guy. They, earlier in the season, have not been having good finishes, but now they're having a lot better finishes, and I think he's just trying to score as many points for his team as he possibly can.
Interesting. And Maggio circles back out. Will DJ be able to clear him? No. They're still going to be side by side. Now DJ has the top line. Get around him, Maggio just trying to get in there.
Oh, wreck. Varma is around on Blackjack. Not Maggio. Magnus is on pit road wall.
It looks like they were trying to enter pit roads and had a mishap there, but now DLJ has cleared Maggio. Maggio drives it in deep. Maggio's got to focus here as we go under caution.
Lap 24, going into 25, I believe. Another wreck at the line. Looks like Cam and Josh was around. Quite a race it has been.
It's just been a really, really solid battle here. This is more than likely going to be the battle for the win, unless anything unfortunate happens. You got to remember, lap traffic has been a big factor. So anything could happen here. But for the most part, I think Maggio has really shown a lot of confidence in how he's ran tonight. You know, he's been kind of down on himself lately about how he's running on this tracks, but he's been right there, and I think he's finally realizing that he has the confidence that he can come out here and he can win this race. And on the other hand, DJ, he's been in this position many times before, and I mean, if there's anybody that you could compare to the Intimidator here in TNS, it's definitely DLJ, and he knows how to put the pressure on, and Maggio's got to be feeling it.
Now, along with this and other progress, an upset, AJK with the best lap, currently at 13.738.
Now, that's a very good lap, but unfortunately it's not going to be able to eclipse DLJ's 13.668 from the first stage, but there's still some time left. We're not over yet. Someone could definitely break it. But there's just been too many yellows, I think, in the stage too, for guys to really get those lap times, and especially with these two guys up front battling, hasn't allowed any of them to get any clean laps.
Now, I gotta say, one thing is, this has gotta be one of the latest races that at least I have been to. It is already 10:49 Eastern Standard Time. You know, do you think late times may actually also play into this too?
Definitely unexpected late race attrition setting in. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. DLJ gets a pretty good launch, but so does Leadfoot. Maggio tries to cover. Man, that could have been dangerous. Almost had no room and almost cleaned himself out. How about Jeremy?
Blackjack is sandwiched between Glenna and Ride.
It's in the back. Glenna, the defending race winner, one back at Talladega, is having a rough night. He's been pretty much in the back all race long. So we focus in on our two leaders. And Dude Molisher goes around on the front straightaway. She gets back going, but the leaders are coming. They're going to be at her bumper pretty soon. Leadfoot has emerged as the third best car so far, but he's got Jeremy and Boost on his tail, with Josh and Love and Gamerstig in tow. Let's go back to Captain and Mojo. And then way in the back here, look at this battle. Halverson's working that top line. I've been watching him all race. He's been up there. Not sure by choice. Car's really tight. You can see that as he scrapes the wall coming off the corner. Not getting the drive off he wants. Go back to our leaders. DLJ is gapped Maggios for the most part. As now Boost and Jeremy have gotten by Leadfoot for third place as they battle. Here's Gamerstig, and how about Captain? Working his way back up, puts the bumper to Gamerstig. Doesn't do anything with it. See in the back. Jumble of cars, AJK, Fat, Magnus, Glenna, all battling for position. Magnus gets AJK pretty loose there. And I think it's safe to say that for the moment DLJ is gone.
I mean, one yellow, that can change everything.
Maggio losing a bit of steam. Boost actually catching him a bit. You gotta be wondering what does Maggio have to do here to lock back in and get focused.
Speed up.
Boost closing in pretty fast. Will there be enough time? still lap traffic ahead, so that could play in.
Meanwhile, Gamerstig, Mojo, and DMX are having a good battle here.
Move back to that, I believe. That's for the 9th place spot.
You know, like I said, these guys are going to be aggressive for any place they can get. You know, whether it's 1st or 11th, they'll take anything.
You know what we haven't done? Let's go through the field. Sponsored by Progressive. Take a look at our leader, DLJ. He's got a couple of wins this season. Looking to extend his massive points lead. No stranger to the short track game. He's dominating. Looks like he could be en route to another victory.
Oh, 22 is around off the...
That's
he is
DMX.
up in the air from Gamerstig.
DMX and Gamerstig has pulled it off. You don't see that often. Wow.
I do not believe if Gamerstig is quitting or not. However, it looks like he may be.
You know, this is very unlike Gamerstig. We've only got a couple laps to go here. Lap 44 of 51, and I believe they have gone caution free. Forgot to mention that with the odd lap count here in this stage. As we were about to go through the field, we'll abort that, but we'll focus on our leader. Oh, AJK goes up and over for the moment. That was right in front of the leader. What's that going to do for Maggio? Oh, he's got heavy lap traffic he's working through, but he's also got boost right on his bumper.
You know what? I think if I was Maggio, I'd be liking this. I'd be liking all this lap traffic coming up on DJ. You know, I'd be almost hoping for a wreck to come in front of DJ. Not really to take DJ out, but to definitely slow him down. You know, that'll come with a major benefit for him.
Well, clear skies ahead for the most part for DLJ. Maggio's going to try everything to get back up to him. Although DLJ is closing in on some lap traffic here.
Meanwhile, Jeremy is looking to try and make through some lap traffic and hopefully catch up to, I believe, Boost is in front of him.
Here we go. 2 laps to go.
Will Maggio get it done?
I don't think he's going to have enough time coming through the final corners here. They'll see the white flag. 1 to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. And a very interesting turn of events here. Maggio thought he may have had a chance to do it, but it looks like this man can extend that win streak. DLJ takes the checkered flag. He wins at Mulligan Speedway. Maggio comes second in a close battle between him and Boost, and the others file in. Jeremy 4th. What a comeback for him. Josh coming in with the top 5. Lead, Love, and the others file in. How about Ride with a good finish? But what a race. I mean, we saw it all tonight, Gamer Boy. We saw Rex, we saw 2 delays that we were not expecting, and we saw DLJ take it home with the win, and Gamerstig pulled it off. Very unlike him to do that. AJK did hang on to the fastest lap in that stage, but it was going to be DLJ completing the, well, not the sweep, because Gamerstig ended up with the pole, but he's going to end up getting the win and the fastest lap. And we'll try to have a word with him if we can.
I know it's a short track, but like people get just keep going full throttle into me in turns for no reason.
Yeah. Let's do some Jeremy.
Yeah, let's see.
Yep.
DLJ, do you got a copy?
Playlist going down with the next week's TNS track.
Well, DLJ, you pick up another win, and it comes on the short track of Mulligan Speedway. How did you get it done?
Well, I would say that my weakest points in tonight's race is the short runs and the restarts, but somehow I was able to overcome that, and I was just able to execute and restart, and we had a good battle there, but
That was fun. That was a fun battle.
But yeah, it was a good race.
Well,
We
congratulations.
learned today DJ wins everything.
Congratulations, picking up another win on the season. And here we are. Well, Gamer Boy, thanks for joining us. We ran a little bit past our run time, but we saw the first stage ended up being a little. We thought it was the most exciting stage, but it ended up being a little bit more tame compared to what we saw in the latter half of the race. Well, DLJ picks up the race win. We'll try to see if we can get a word with our second place finisher, Maggio. We'll get Maggio in a second if he chooses to join our party. But fun race, definitely an enjoyable track to race on, for sure. Let's see if we can get Maggio. Maggio, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, you came up just short tonight. Hard fought second place. What do you think you could have done to win the race?
I just had a really bad final restart. I mean, I was hanging with DLJ for almost every single restart except maybe two, and that last one I just didn't get a great restart. But I just held in there, had a really big lead over Boost in third, and then lap car spin out right in front of me, and I nearly avoided it, and then I just had to try to hold off Boost for those remaining laps. But I mean, I had a blast battling DJ for those 20 some odd laps, and then he was able to get by me through the pit stops, which is kind of unfortunate because it had taken so long to get by him the first time. But I mean, what are you gonna do? It was a great fun race, and I'm very much happy with second because all the people around me in points did not have as great of a day. So it's definitely a great points day for me.
Well, that's the nature of the beast. Maggio coming home second tonight. And that'll do it for us here on Lear Sports. Next week, I believe we go to Thrilla at Zilla. Should be a fun race. It's a medium track, drives similarly to a super speedway. You'll be there, right, Gamer Boy?
I plan to. I mean, so far things for me have been kind of up in the air, shall we say. So you never know what might happen, but as of current plans, I do plan to be there with the broadcast.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. DRM couldn't be here tonight. He was at the Daytona 500 today. Speaking of Daytona 500, what an awesome race. Austin Cindric picking up the victory. Surely he had a good time there, but next week will be at Thrilla at Zilla by Jeremy. And that'll do it for us here this week. We'll see you next time.